Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. So what does food mean to you? Well, join me today as my special guests are Ashley Scheuring. She's a regular money-saving expert, and she's going to be telling us how to have Mother's Day on a budget. You know, Mother's Day is coming up, and Edward Perotti is a celebrity event planner, and he's going to be giving us some tips on entertaining and how to entertain on a budget also, and some special things you can do. And you know, Mother's Day is coming up, and Mom, if you can hear me wherever you are, happy Mother's Day. We love you. And I did want to just mention some interesting facts about Mother's Day. So did you know that Mother's Day was founded by Anna Jarvis in 1908, but later she fought against its commercialization. So it was just getting too commercial for her. While the U.S. celebrates Mother's Day in May, the UK honors mothers in March, and in Thailand, they celebrate it in August on the Queen's birthday. And Mother's Day is one of the busiest days for phone calls. And carnations are the traditional flower for Mother's Day. Did you know that? They symbolize admiration and love. And studies show that mothers influence their children's emotional intelligence and resilience more than any other factor. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And I just want to mention too that if you are in the Philadelphia area, I will be doing a broadcast from a special event. It's a benefit for CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, at the Gleaner Cafe in the Italian Market on 9th Street in Philadelphia on May 15th. We'll be doing some interviewing. There are some live interviews at this event. It's actually will be an art show there, and we'll be doing some interviews there, so please stop by and say hi, and who knows, maybe we'll put you on the mic also, and you can say a few words to our listening audience. Hope to see you then. And as a reminder, you know, I've been mentioning this throughout actually the month of April and May. So there were some wonderful products that I found for Mother's Day gifts, and I have compiled them in 4 different Mother's Day guides, and you can find the Mother's Day guides at the marialiberattishow.com and marialiberati.com. There's 4 guides. You can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. I had so much fun trying out products and testing them out, and then deciding which ones we were going to select. And if you go to my Instagram account, which is just at Maria Liberati, it's instagram.com/Maria Liberati, you'll see quick reels of the products. A lot of the products, actually mostly all of the products that I've selected, and there's so many in different categories. They're great Mother's Day gifts, and some of the companies are also giving special discounts to my followers. So just check out my Instagram reels, and you'll see products from hair care to beauty to skincare to food to teas and coffees and home products and pet products. There's all kinds of products, almost anything you can think of, books also. So please check out the Instagram, my Instagram account. And again, the marialiberattishow.com. Look for the Mother's Day guides 1 through 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you'll get to see all the products. And if you get to try out the products, please let us know how you like the products. Hashtag the Maria Liberati Show. And we will also share that on social media. And also let the companies themselves know that you found the product at the Maria Liberati Show and how you liked it. Discover Discover the timeless secrets of Italian cuisine with a Basic Art of Italian Cooking series by Maria Liberati. That's me. From fragrant basil to silky olive oil, each page is a culinary masterpiece. Taste the passion, embrace the tradition, and create your own masterpieces in the kitchen with my Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. Buon appetito, and you can find the books on Amazon.com, Kindle, on marialiberati.com, and on the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com. And my special guest today is Edward Perotti, and he is a principal at EP Events and Experiences, which is a really cool event and experiences company. They do so many great, really neat events, really interesting events. Edward, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday. And what I wanted to ask you, so, we were just chatting a little, and I know springtime, it's great. Well, if the weather's really nice, it is really nice to really take advantage of it and eat outside because it's not the sweating heat, sweltering heat of August usually, and sometimes you have in the middle of the day you have these really nice temps that are just really comfortable to sit outside. So excuse me, wanted to find out if we could do a few tips and things on how to do maybe some outdoor events. Mother's Day is coming up, Easter. So if the weather permits, they're great holidays to set a table outside and enjoy the weather.
I mean, I'm the first one, spring, summer, fall, winter. I'm the first one to say go outside,
Yes.
regardless. And maybe that's residual COVID PTSD, but any opportunity you can to be outside,
Yes.
go outside and honestly embrace the weather, no matter what the
Exactly.
weather is. Embrace it. But here, and I'm just outside of San Francisco,
Oh,
so
there you go.
our weather is a roller coaster and it
Yes.
changes hour to hour, but it it screams come out. It
Uh-huh.
screams go out there. And what I also find interesting is talking to clients is so many individuals they don't want to do it because they don't even feel they have the proper furniture or they
Right.
haven't gone to I don't want to endorse anybody, but to Home
Right.
Depot and bought the new patio
Exactly.
furniture. And I'm the first one to say, first off, that's an excuse.
Right. Yes.
You're you're blocking yourself. Find other creative ways. I mean, there is, and I love doing this. There is no problem with going to a local market
Hmm.
and getting a wood pallet.
Right.
Pick up two wood pallets,
Uh-huh.
put them on your lawn,
Uh-huh.
drape a tablecloth over them, and put big pillows on the ground. And
Yes.
just sit. It's not the whole idea of being outdoors and entertaining outdoors is nature.
Yes.
And nature by itself is your decor.
Right.
So you really don't need to go overboard and you don't need to be opulent. You just kind of need to embrace what you have and the environment you have. And if you don't have an outdoor lawn area, but you have a balcony, well, okay, why can't you just throw a
Exactly.
rug out there? Why
Exactly.
can't you get a little mini barbecue and just do something out there? But the whole idea is for you, springtime, summer, it doesn't matter. But what do you like about that time?
Mm-hmm.
What about spring inspires you,
Uh-huh.
right? For me, it's not the colors. It's not, but it's the idea of a rebirth. It's the idea of coming out of a cocoon of winter, right? So
Yes.
I really lean into natural when it comes to spring. I lean into just the idea of greenery
Uh-huh.
versus pastels all over the place. And it's also very boring. It's also
Yes.
very expected. It's very trendy. It
Exactly.
and I get so many interesting emails when I say this out loud, but it's generic.
Uh-huh.
It's not you.
Right.
And if you're not that flowery person, oh, why the heck are you doing flowers? If
Exactly.
if you love the idea of spring and natural fibers and the lawn and branches that are just coming to life again, use
Hmm.
it.
Yes.
And do your food the same way. You
Uh-huh.
don't need to do, egg prices crazy.
Yes.
You don't need, especially with Easter, you don't need deviled eggs. You don't need to dye the eggs. You can find other creative things to do. You just need to get out of your own mental box.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think people are really intimidated with eating outside because I lived in Italy for so many years and I just was so used to and I just love to eat outdoors. There's just something about it. But I think people are intimidated. They just don't know how to enjoy it or they're just intimidated by eating outside. And it's just wonderful to do that. You just, you're out there in nature and the sun and it's just beautiful. But yes,
It really is taking a step back and not setting yourself up to fail, right?
right,
So think about the food you want to do. Think about the food that doesn't tie you to an indoor kitchen,
right.
that you constantly feel that you have to run back and forth. Take all those what if obstacles off the table
Uh-huh.
and then start being comfortable with it because it's human nature to go spiral down versus up.
Right, yes.
And as simple as we may think eating outdoors is,
Uh-huh.
you're right. People find it intimidating. They will make excuses because it's comfortable and easy for them
Right,
to just sit at the dining room table and walk from the kitchen to the dining room table.
exactly.
It's just as easy
Mhm.
to walk from the kitchen to your yard, to
Yes,
your garden, to
exactly.
packing a picnic basket itself and getting in the car and going to a local park with your friends. It's it's here. It's
Yes,
all here.
it is. It is definitely all there, definitely. And so any tips on some, well, you've said some things already about using nature, but for like tablescapes that, are chic, but they're not over the top and you don't have to go crazy with it because as you're saying, there's so many ideas, so many things that you can use that you know, people don't think of. They're just things that are there already, probably.
So I first tell people when we're talking personal versus
Uh-huh.
our large events. We're
Yes.
talking personal family soirees, gatherings, whatever.
Right.
My first advice is shop your house.
Uh-huh. Yes.
It's interesting. So my husband is a personal stylist, and
Uh-huh.
I hear him constantly telling his clients, "We're going to shop your closet before we shop a store." And there are so many things people have that they forget they have. They forget they
Uh-huh.
have vases. They forget
Yes.
they have candlesticks. They forget they have platters that they may have bought 20 years ago, but we're all secret hoarders and we
Yes.
don't get rid of things. Is
Exactly.
shop your home first,
Uh-huh.
look for something that you haven't seen in a while that
Right.
could be kind of fun, that
Uh-huh.
could be unique, but that's going to tell a story.
Exactly.
And play with that. I don't, once again, outdoor, when we talk chic, when I
Uh-huh.
talk, everybody has their own opinion, but when
Right.
I talk chic, chic is less is more,
Yes, exactly.
right? I think of chic when it comes to events very much like luxury retail with the
Uh-huh.
products and how they advertise. It's not the product, it's how it makes you feel.
Yes.
So chic is an emotion.
Uh-huh.
It's not the products. So what do you want to convey? What is that? And there could be, I found these old candlesticks that were super tall, a
Uh-huh.
set of three of them. I ditched the candles
Uh-huh.
and I put the styrofoam cube or the styrofoam rings on them and then just filled it with ivy.
Wow. Uh-huh.
And it was it. it was, not that I want to be the cheap date, but it was I got everything at the florist, but I think I spent $30
Right.
on fresh ivy with maybe a couple little
Uh-huh.
flowers in there that were wildflowers, and it was beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And it was very simple. There's
Yes.
there's tricks you can do. If you don't have the tablecloths or you don't want to go down that path, go to your local fabric store.
Uh-huh.
Go look at their sale fabrics, printed fabric, something that kind of grabs you,
Uh-huh.
and have a couple yards cut
Uh-huh.
and use that on your table.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's the beauty about entertaining nowadays, and once again, my peers are going to come after me, but other than etiquette, when it
Uh-huh.
comes to design, there's no rules.
Right.
The rules are, I mean, don't get me going on where the placement of the forks are, because my grandmother and my great aunt will crawl out of their grave and they will smack me in the back of the head if I tell people that doesn't matter.
Right.
But when you're entertaining, it should be your voice.
Right.
You want to give your guests a piece of you,
Mm-hmm.
how you think, how you're feeling at that moment, how you want them to feel. They're
Uh-huh.
coming to you,
Right.
so give them that.
Uh,
So the rules don't exist, but and chic is in the eye of the beholder.
right. Yes.
And
Definitely.
do not try to imitate something you see in a photo.
Exactly. Because you want to
Don't
put
do
your
it.
own style into your
Well,
own.
and always remember that everything you see in print, even with me, I can honestly say without even hesitating, in 33 years, I've never repeated an event designing
Uh-huh.
because when I do them, it is a moment in time.
Right.
My mind is in a certain place at that moment. The client is completely different. The budgets are completely different. You're never going to be able to recreate what you see. Never.
Exactly. Exactly.
But what you should do is look at those photos of spring events and soirees and what in that picture grabs you. Is it
Right.
the flowers? Is it the color? Is it the fact that it's outdoors?
Right.
Find that,
Mhm.
latch onto that,
Uh-huh.
and run with it.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's great. All great tips. We're almost out of time. So, Edward, tell people where they can find you. The website, I know I saw it's a wonderful website.
Thank you. So my website, they can reach me and reach out to me through there, which is edwardaperotti.com. I am not a big social media person. I keep a lot of things private and confidential with
Uh-huh.
the clients, but
Uh-huh.
when I do post, it's Perotti EA.
Okay.
And usually what I'll do there is little tips. Like I've really lately gotten into the crocheting trend. I don't
Uh-huh.
crochet, but the idea of using the crocheted flowers
Oh,
for
yes.
spring centerpieces, which make it very not artsy craftsy, but it's a different texture that is
Uh-huh.
just kind of fun.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, I mean, just things like that. But yes, they can follow me there and DM me and surprisingly, I will respond. It may take me a
Oh,
little while, but I will respond.
great. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, we'll have you back in the near future with some other tips for entertaining. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me. You have a great week.
You too. Join me on a mouth-watering journey through Italy with my Gourmand World Award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, which brings you authentic recipes, heartwarming stories, and a dash of Mediterranean magic. Whether you're a seasoned chef or a beginner, these books will awaken your inner food artist. Get ready to say ciao to delicious adventures. And you can find the Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, at Amazon.com on Kindle and on marialiberotti.com and the publisher's website, artoflivingprimamedia.com. And today, my special guest is, well, she's a regular guest. She's always sharing money saving tips for us. It's Ashley Scheuring from Confessions of a Grocery Addict. And she's going to be sharing some money saving tips for us for Mother's Day. Ashley, thanks so much for being here again.
Thank you for having me. It's so great to be here as always.
Oh, thanks. And so it's always fun having you on and learning about these neat money saving tips. And Mother's Day is not an exception. I know we all want to try and celebrate the holiday and make mom feel special. But now everybody does need a little help in knowing how to save money and how to still be able to do that.
Absolutely. I feel like, well, moms are the best. I myself am not one, and to all of the moms out there, I think you're warriors, and I'm
Yes.
so like I just can't even believe all the things that you do. But this is an opportunity for you to give mom a break in the kitchen. I used to work in restaurants for a long time, and Mother's Day gets very busy, particularly for brunch and lunch. So it might be an opportunity for you to kind of avoid all of the crowds and obviously avoid the expense of going out to brunch.
Right.
So just a few ideas. First up, breakfast in bed. That's always a fun little indulgence, but there are a few things that you're probably going to want to keep in mind. Um, First of all, make sure you have some kind of tray. It doesn't have to be one of those fancy ones that has the legs, but that is a nice touch. You just need something flat that she can, set everything on. Don't forget to add a napkin, preferably cloth, because not only is it reusable, it's just nicer when you're using a cloth napkin.
Yes.
Um, and any kind of silverware that she's going to need. It's also not necessary, but it's cute to have a little small bud vase with a single flower. Um, you can always have the kids go out and pick some dandelions from the yard. It doesn't need to be anything, expensive. It's just nice to have a little bit of color on the tray. And then as far as food goes, don't opt for anything that's super drippy or crumbly. So it should be easy to eat with either a spoon, a fork, or by hand. You can have things that require a little bit of cutting, but remember, she's not going to have a table, so it shouldn't be anything that's difficult or that you need like a steak knife to use. So think things like fancy oatmeals, like carrot cake oatmeal would be really fun and kind of springy. Pancakes are easy to cut with a fork. Eggs, bacon, hash browns, fruit salad. And if she's somebody who likes more pastries with her coffee, consider things that are more like muffins or sticky buns over croissants, because the croissants will just flake and then she'll have to change the sheets.
Exactly.
You don't want to make extra work for her
No,
today.
you do for on Mother's Day, definitely. That's a great idea. I know when I was living at home when I was younger, probably a teen, my brother and I used to actually I think I was the one that did it, but that's what we did. We used to make my mom breakfast in bed for Mother's Day and did it for my dad too for Father's Day. That was like the big thing, and they just loved that. So
Such a nice way to start. I mean, you can bring in the little, comics section or whatever her
right,
favorite
the
part of the
newspaper part,
newspaper is. And
exactly. If it,
um, so yeah, and then also just don't overfill her coffee or make sure it's in like a go cup that has a cover because nobody wants
exactly,
to
you know
splash
what?
hot coffee.
Exactly, exactly,
Um,
definitely. So that's definitely a great idea, doing like a late breakfast in bed, like a brunch or something like that in bed.
and
That's
then
yeah.
if you are somebody who wants to do something a little bit bigger with the whole family later in the day, hosting brunch is great too.
Mhm.
If your kids are old enough and you're doing something like that, it's a great time to encourage them to help you come up with the menu, and also to get in the kitchen with you. So stick to simple recipes that don't require a lot of knife work, or be on standby to help any littles with stuff that needs to be chopped.
Mhm.
But there are some easy ideas to try. Tartines are one of my favorite
Yes.
go-tos.
Uh-huh.
That's just French and fancy for open face sandwich.
Right.
So we used to serve a ton of them at the brunch restaurant that I worked with. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just a crispy piece, crunchy, crusty piece of bread that's been pan fried, or you can toast a lot of them in the oven all at once. And
Uh-huh.
then Like we always would do like lightly sweetened mascarpone with some sliced strawberries and a drizzle of balsamic vinaigrette or balsamic reduction,
Uh-huh.
or
Uh-huh.
like ricotta with peaches and a drizzle of honey. It doesn't need to be super fancy. You don't need a lot. Um, Another one is strata is a great make ahead breakfast that is really inexpensive and kind of in the Italian theme. So just use up old bread. You will need some eggs and some milk, but then you can add a bunch of other stuff to it, whether it's ham and cheese or whatever veggies you have. Kiddos can always help with cracking the eggs, and if they're not great at catching the eggshells, just have them crack it into a whisk, or sorry, into a sieve, and then you can sieve it through. And then some other fun things that I remember making when I was a kid was like foil pack fish or foil pack chicken, so they can put the veggies and the spices in there and roll it up. That's fun for them. Grilled cheese and tomato soup is another comforting one. So just keep it really easy and simple. You can always make it a potluck so people can bring other things to, take some of the financial burden off of you.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, everybody can bring in pick their own kind of course, dessert, main course, side dish, salad, whatever. That's a great idea also. Great idea.
So just avoid all of the hullabaloo of going out to eat and keep it at home. And that way you get to pick mom's favorite music and pick her favorite people, and you don't have to worry about the service.
Yes, and then waiting in lines and making reservations, and then that's kind of a stressful thing. And I think it is more relaxing to stay at home.
Yeah. Because then you don't have to, force mom to get ready and have to get out the door by a particular time. She can kind of dictate.
And she can relax, pretty much chill out for the day. So that's great. What about gifts? Any tips for
I mean, I think homemade is always the way to go.
Exactly.
So, it could be something simple like, if mom likes coffee, make her some homemade coffee syrup or homemade coffee creamer. Or you can do, I mean, anything that's kitchen related is, I think, great for snacks. But yeah, outside of that, pick her some flowers or paint her a rock or, something to put in her garden. One of the things that I did for my mom once, little flat river rocks, and then just paint whatever her herbs are and use those as like little garden markers.
Oh, that's great. Yes.
And you can do that on like rulers or, if she prefers it more sticking upright. But those are things that kids can get involved in, and you don't have to spend a lot of money.
Oh, and they're so, it's much more personal and really shows it comes kind of from the heart instead of, going
Yeah, I mean, how much do you love getting like macaroni shell necklaces and all of that from little kiddos? I mean, it's just like the most precious thing.
It is. It really, really is. That's great. Any last minute tips before we go? But those are all great.
I would say just start looking for food sales now. Remember that you can always put things in the freezer. You can prep things ahead of time. But yeah, just start accumulating the stuff that you need. Eggs can be, cracked, whisked, and put away in the freezer. They also last usually for a couple of weeks in the fridge. But yeah, anything that you can get ahead of time that's on sale before the big event, whether that's for hosting, if you're doing paper plates and paper napkins, just start looking for those sales now.
That's a great idea. Yeah, because sometimes you can find some great deals on something that you might not have thought you could get. So if you are, spend some time and look, you might find some things.
Yeah.
Some special things also. That's great. All great tips. Thanks again, Ashley, for being here. And we'll look forward to hearing some more tips next month.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thanks for doing what you do.
Yes, definitely. They definitely deserve it. Yes. Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show, and thanks for joining us, and thanks as always to my producer, Britton Roselle, and this week's special guest. And also, just a reminder, check out the Mother's Day guides 1 through 4 at themarialiberatishow.com and marialiberati.com. It's actually Mother's Day gift guides, and they're all the products that I found that I thought would make unique and special gifts for moms for Mother's Day. You would probably all like the products yourself, so whether you give them as a gift or check them out for yourself as well, but they are fitting for my Mother's Day guides for 2025. They were all selected. And also a reminder that I will be doing a broadcast from the Cafe Gleaner on 9th Street in the Italian market in Philadelphia. I'm so excited. I haven't been back there actually for a little while, so I'm excited to go down there again. And I'll be at the Gleaner Cafe. They're having a special art event that benefits the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, CHOP. So please join us, stop by, and say hi. That's on May 15th. I will be there from 4 to 6 p.m. Stop by to say hi. And as always, you can find me at marialiberati.com. The website for the podcast is the marialiberatishhow.com. On Instagram at Maria Liberati, that's Instagram at Maria Liberati. And that's where you can see reels of some of the products that I selected that are also on my Mother's Day guide. And on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati. And let's see, on Twitter or X at Maria Liberati. On Vimeo at Maria Liberati, our YouTube channel called The Maria Liberati Show. On Pinterest at Maria Liberati, and you can also find my Gourmand World award-winning book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, at marialiberati.com, and really anywhere books are sold, barnesandnoble.com, Amazon, and if you can't find the books, you can always send us an email at info@marialiberati.com and we'll find them for you. And until next week, peace, love, and pasta.